I was actually wondering where your streams went while doing laundry. All right, we're here. Sorry. Last week I was stupid. I was very stupid. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to say hello. I manifest Kendra's streams. Yes. Sorry about that. So last week we were actually going to stream. However, I realized something. I was doing this thing. I've talked about this before. I have a project that I'm doing for school that I do monthly. And the problem is that I was so busy writing the script for it that I realized that the deadline was approaching. So it was either do it this week, which is the deadline week, or do it the previous week and somehow not die. And I have somehow not died. But because of that, we will be doing 4 streams this week because I have a lot of textbook reading to do. Welcome to the closest thing we are going to get to ASMR. If anything, I'm glad for at least one thing, the VODs didn't get deleted before then. So last time I almost forgot to, literally right before the stream, turns out the VOD for the, Quobits. Yes. Quobits. Yeah. I have, no idea how I pronounced it last time. It's been so long. I probably have to, go back to the stream itself. Quobits. What is it? Yeah, so what happened was that because I spent last week doing the, the deadline stuff, and recording and doing all that, I was not able to do the textbook reading last week. So now I'm saddled with 4 this week. The good news is that all the work that I did this week, all the work that I would have had to do this week was so easy. I was able to get it done just a few hours earlier and all of yesterday. And I was able to get ahead on one of my assignments. So thankfully, I was able to get past that. How is everybody's day? Hello, Uwe. Not only that, I actually wanted to see if I could set up my avatar to, do the whole bounce Discord thing. But then I realized I deleted the other one with the mouth open. So now we're just stuck with another mouth closed. Yeah. I would have just been clicking for open shut anyway, because Discord doesn't... Discord does work, but it, slows down the computer, so... There's that. Alright, so let's get started, everybody. I dread every moment of this. So we will be doing Chapter 3 of Storage. Get your popcorn, everybody. You're gonna love it. If you want to interrupt me, please. Storage systems, characteristics. I need to eat lunch. I will keep your stream open. Yay. Thank you. We're gonna be doing this until, probably May or April. Trust me. We will not be doing this all the time. I'm only doing this because I have to. By the way, sorry, but I probably won't be staying long. I normally would be out of the house 30 minutes ago, but bus can't arrive, too much fog. Do I throw puns? Yes! Yes. Alright. Have a great meal. Have a great meal too, quarantine. Yeah. All storage systems have specific characteristics such as having both a storage medium and a storage device, how portable and volatile that system is, how data is assessed and represented, and the type of storage technology used. These characteristics are discussed in the next few sections. Storage media and storage devices. There are two parts to any storage system: the system medium and the storage device. A storage medium is the hard. Alright, then I have some Norse mythology puns. Alright, shoot them out there. A storage medium is the hardware where data is actually stored. For example, a DVD or flash memory card. A storage medium is inserted into a corresponding storage device, such as a DVD drive or a flash memory card reader. Let's see. Of course. Allow. Let's see, what's the first favorite relevant in Norse mythology? I don't know. I do not know, Uwe. You know, I probably would sigh harder at the joke if I knew more about Norse mythology. So we're sadly going to have to ban Uwe for the next 24 hours until they get off the bus. Okay. The dark elves, of course. It's always a fair reaction to a pun. In order to read from or written to. Often the storage device and storage medium are two separate pieces of hardware. That is, the storage medium is removable. Although with some systems, such as a hard drive or most USB flash drives, the two parts are permanently sealed together to form one piece of hardware. Like I said, it wouldn't be the first time I almost got banned because of a pun. I wouldn't be surprised. Some of you, listen, and I know you know it is true. Let's be real here. Some of them definitely are criminal offense behavior because of how criminal they are. Very, very criminal. What is hardware? I'm already wanting to call it quits. We're already in paragraph 2 and want to call it quits. Storage devices can be internal, located inside the system unit, external, plugged into an external port or on the system unit, or remote, located on another computer, such as network server or web server. Who's the most popular singer in Farticus? Internal devices have the This is loud on my end. Internal devices have the advantage of requiring no additional desk space, and are usually faster than their external counterparts. External devices, however, can be easily transported from one location to another, such as to share data from others, to transfer data between a work computer and a home computer, or to take digital photos to a photo store. They can also be removed from the computer and stored in a secure area, such as for backup purposes or to protect sensitive data. Elvis Presley. You know, that's actually not the first time I've heard an Elvis Presley joke. I'm sorry. You're late to the party. VeggieTales did it first. You're an elfish impersonator. Remote devices are accessed over a network. Some remote storage devices, such as those accessed via the internet, have the additional advantage of being accessible from any computer within an internet connection. Regardless of how storage devices are connected to a computer, letters of the alphabet and/or names are typically assigned to each storage device so that the user can identify each device easily when it needs to be used. Wait, I'm just realizing I forgot to submit some stuff. I'll be lurking here. I'll be lurking and bus will probably arrive, but I'll keep stream open. Have fun, everyone. Have fun away. Don't get... I don't know. I had a bus pun and then I realized I don't know any bus puns. Also, quick reminder for food, hydration, posture, sleep, and meds, and stretch your wrist every now and then. Alright, thank you, you do the same. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had the option to move the peoples out of the room or to keep them with me. I made the choice to move them out because I can concentrate more if I do that. I probably left by now, but why not read his messages? Why not? I want to. I have a bus for one. If the bus is always full, you can say it is bustling. Even when he leaves, even when they leave, they leave with cringe. Anyways, goodbye everyone, and like the Funny Bone Man once said, take care of yourself, kid, because someone really cares about you. Yay. So let's continue. Regardless of how storage devices are connected to a computer, letters of the alphabet and/or names are typically assigned to each storage device so that the user can identify each device easily when it needs to be used. Some drive letters, such as the letter C, typically used with the primary hard drive, are usually consistent from computer to computer and do not change even if more storage devices are added to the computer. This is how that works. Yes. Yeah. I'm learning ish. I feel like I'm learning, but like I'm not learning at the same time. The rest of the drive letters not on a computer may change as new devices are added, either permanently, such as when an additional hard drive is installed inside the computer, or temporarily, such as when a USB flash drive, digital camera, external hard drive, or smartphone is connected to the computer. When a new storage device is detected, the computer just assigns and reassigns drive letters as needed. Okay. Volatility. As discussed in Chapter 2, conventional RAM is volatile, so programs and documents held in RAM are erased when they are no longer needed by the computer or when the power to the computer is turned off. Storage media, however, is non-volatile, so the data remains on the computer. So the data remains on the media even when the power to the computer or storage device is off. Consequently, storage media is used for anything that needs to be saved for future use. When the computer receives an instruction, random versus sequential access. When the computer receives an instruction that requires data located from the storage medium, it must go to the designated location on the appropriate storage medium and retrieve the requested data. This procedure is referred to as access. Two basic access methods are available: random and sequential. Oh, are you studying computers? Yes, I am. This is for a computer science class. Unfortunately for my school, you have to take computer science if you want to do coding. I'm just happy the fact that my knowledge of learning good thing I'm taking this class because I actually like computers. What is it? This is like chapter 3. We're like, I have to do 4 chapters this week because I missed 2 last week. Like, we're studying at our own pace, but like the chapters are so long and the quizzes are so many questions. I know good and well that the final exam is like over 200 questions in 4 hours because I can see it. And it sucks, but I know I have to do it. What is it? Random access, also called direct access, means that data can be retrieved directly from any location on a storage medium, in any order. But are they easy questions? So, They're easy questions, but the problem is that they're in PDF files, so I can't even like control F all the questions. Which sucks, because I tried doing that with the first chapter, and the thing is that the quizzes themselves are not timed, just the final exam. But I think it kind of looks only a tiny bit bad if you take, I don't know, 5 hours to do a 40-question quiz. Each of the quizzes are 40 questions, except for the first one, which was 30. It hurts. You don't know how to use Find in PDF? For the way the teacher did it? Nope. Plus, even then, I gotta learn to do it anyway. Plus, I like these study type ASMR-ish type stuff, so I don't mind reading it all. It's just hard to read by myself because I'm sitting there for so long and my mind wanders so much. Any order. A random access device works in a manner similar to a DVD player used to play music or movies. That is, it can jump directly to a particular location on the medium when data located at the location is needed. Do you use Quizlet? Not a lot. I only use it on the very rare occasion. Very rarely. Virtually all storage devices used with computers today for day-to-day storage, including hard drives, DVD drivers, and USB flash drives, are random access devices. Media that allows random access to are sometimes referred to as addressable media. This means that the storage system can locate each piece of stored data at a unique address, which is determined by the computer system. With sequential access, however, the data can only be retrieved in the order in which it is physically stored on the medium. One type of storage device that is sometimes used with computers for backup purposes and that uses sequential access is a magnetic tape drive. Computer magnetic tapes work like audio cassette tapes or video tapes. To get to a specific location on the tape, you must play or fast forward through all the tape that comes before the location you want to access. Logical or physical representation. Well, they force you to learn sequential. It's weird because it's like you're reading the textbook to take the quizzes because what I tried doing in the beginning was I tried to control F everything. That didn't work. So then when it came to some of the questions that were referred to as definitions, I tried looking at the definitions to see if I could just like blast through that. That didn't work because they used specifically the sentences in the textbook, not the definition, not like the word and then the definition of the word, the specific textbook description. So I can't even I gotta legitimately read through it. Nothing uses that anymore but our nukes. They're just making us read. I highly doubt that. Once this class is only a few weeks. This one started late. That's also why I couldn't stream last week, because I was jumbled up. Thankfully, one of my classes is finally ending. It's not a bad class, it's just that I was like, man, if only I was actually interested in this class. Now that it's finally ending, I'm putting all my interest in so that I can get the best score possible to get out of here. Logical versus physical representation. Anything such as a program, letter, digital photograph, or song stored on a storage medium is referred to as a file. Data files are also often called documents. When a document that was just created, such as a memo or letter in a word processing program, is saved, it is stored as a new file on a storage medium designated by the user. During the storage process, the user is required to give the file a name, called a file name. The floor is the floor. The file name is used to retrieve the file when it is needed at a later time. Let's see. Are they teaching you how cores work? They taught us about cores, I think, in chapter 2. They taught us about cores in chapter 2 because we went over the CPU. Yeah. So, I did learn that. We were also supposed to, like, do a virtual tour of Microsoft. Well, not Microsoft, just Intel. It's actually kind of neat, not gonna lie. Plus, we also have to read these because it's also a part of our discussions. Why can't you be like some other classes and just pass-fail? To keep files organized, related documents are often stored in folders, also called directories, located in a storage medium. For example, one folder might contain memos to discuss One folder might contain memos to business associates, while another might hold a set of budgets. To organize files further, you can create subfolders, subdirectories within a folder. For instance, you might create a subfolder within a budget subfolder for each fiscal year. In Figure Blah, both budgets and memos are subfolders inside the document folders. The budget subfolders contain 2 additional subfolders, current year and next year. Do they tell you what characters can't be used in file names? They might actually tell us that upcoming. We just started, this is like the beginning of like chapter 3. So it might tell us. What is it? I know you can't, I think the biggest one that I actually kind of hated, was it periods? I think it was like, you can't use dashes and like periods from like my experience, and I was like, so we can use underscore, but we can't use those. I think slashes, but I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure I used slashes before. Although both the user and the computer use drive letters, folder names, and the file names to save and retrieve documents, they perceive them differently. The user typically views how data is stored, what has been discussed so far in this section, and what appears in the File Explorer file management programs shown in Figure Blah using logical file representation. That is, individuals view a document stored as one complete unit in a particular folder on a particular drive. Computers, however, use physical file representation. That is, they access a particular document stored on a storage medium using its physical location or location. For example, the ABC Industries proposal memo file shown in Figure Blah is logically created as in the memo folder in the documents. Debbie and user folders on the hard drive C. But the content of this file could be physically stored in many different pieces scattered across the hard drive. When this occurs, the computer keeps track of the various physical locations used to store that file, as well as the logical representation, file name, folder names, and drive letters used to identify that file, in order to retrieve the entire file when needed. Fortunately, users do not have to be concerned with how files are physically stored on a storage medium because the computer keeps track of that information and uses it to retrieve files whenever they are requested. Slashes are not allowed. Okay, yeah, I figured. Okay. Yeah, slashes are not allowed. Okay. I thought I was able to use slashes. Maybe I just use an underscore. It like depends. I don't know. Oh wait, no. Maybe it was the because there's like 2 types of slashes. There's the left slash, and then there's the one everybody uses, the right slash. I hate the fact that you can't use the left slash. It annoys me. It annoys me to no end. Type of storage technology used. Data is stored magnetically or optically on many types of storage media. With magnetic storage systems such as conventional hard drives, data is stored magnetically on a storage medium, which means the data, zeros and ones, is represented using different magnetic alignments. The storage device can change the magnetic alignment when needed, so data can be written to the medium, deleted from the medium, or rewritten to the medium. Optical storage media, such as a DVD, store data optically using laser beams. On some optical media, the laser burns permanent marks to represent zeros and ones into the surface of the medium, so the data cannot be erased or rewritten. With rewritable optical data, the lasers changes the reflectivity of the medium to represent zeros and ones. But it does not permanently alter the disk surface, so the reflectivity of the medium can be changed back again as needed. Consequently, the data stored on a rewritable optical disk can be changed. Some storage systems use a combination of magnetic and optical technology. Others use a different technology altogether, such as a flash memory storage system that represents data using electrons inside flash memory cells to represent zeros and ones. Some of the most widely used storage systems are discussed next. Hard drives. With the exception of computers designed to use only network storage devices such as thin clients and some independent internet appliances, virtually all personal computers come with a hard drive that is used to store some permanent programs and data. Internal hard drives, those located inside the system unit, are not designed to be removed unless they need to be repaired or replaced. External hard drives typically connect to the computer via an external port, such as a USB or Thunderbolt port, or a wireless connection, and frequently used for additional storage, such as for digital photos, videos, or large multimedia files, particularly for users of tablets and other devices with limited external storage, as discussed in the How It Works book. To move files between computers and for backup purposes, hard drives are also incorporated into other consumers' products, such as smartphones, digital video recorders, DVRs, gaming consoles, digital camcorders, and more, although some devices today only use flash memory chips for internal storage. Yay. For security purposes, both internal and external hard drives today are available with built-in encryption that automatically encrypts, essentially scrambles all data stored on the hard drive and limits access to the hard drive to only authorized users, typically via a password, PIN, or fingerprint scan. Encryption, password, and fingerprint readers are discussed in detail in Chapter 9. Magnetic hard drives, solid-state drives, and... Hey, that's the next discussion question. The discussion question's actually not that bad. It's just the fact that, I'm not sure how to answer it sometimes, so that's why I also read the textbook. I'm actually learning more about SSDs and hard drives and stuff. I finally got the hard drive after, going back and forth about it, and I was finally able to get it. Not gonna lie, it's a lot heavier than I thought. I'm pretty sure you could hurt somebody with that. Traditional hard drives are magnetic hard drives in which particles on the metal disk inside the drive are magnetized to represent the data's zeros and ones. The particles retain their magnetic orientation until that orientation is changed again, so files can be stored, rewritten, or deleted as needed. Newer types of hard drives are solid-state drives, SSD, which are used flash memory technology instead of the magnetic technology to store data, and solid-state hybrid drives, SSHDs, which use a combination of magnetic disk and flash memory. These three types of hard drives are discussed next. Magnetic hard drives. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can clock someone with one of these. A magnetic hard drive, the traditional type of hard drive, also called a hard disk or an HDD, contains one or more metal hard disks or platters that are coated with magnetizable substance. These hard disks are permanently sealed inside the hard drive case, along with the read-write head used to store, write, and read data, and an access mechanism used to move the read-write hands in and out over the surface of the hard disk. I can't read. If it sounds like I'm struggling, it's because I was. Hard drives designed for desktop computers, sometimes referred to as desktop hard drives, typically use 2.5 inch to 3.5 inch hard disks, and notebook hard drives typically use 2.5 inch hard disks. Portable digital media players, digital cameras, and other small devices that include a magnetic hard drive typically use tiny 1.5 inch or smaller hard drives instead. I ran out of breath. If so, there is a read-write head for instead. Regardless of the size, one hard drive usually contains a stack of 2 or more hard drive disks. If so, there is a read-write head for each hard disk surface, top and bottom, as illustrated in Figure blah, and these heads move in and out over the disk surface simultaneously. Interesting tracks. The surface of a hard drive is organized into tracks, concentric rings, and pie-shaped groups of sectors, small pieces of a tract, as shown in Figure blah. On most computer systems, the smallest amount of disk space on a hard drive that can be used to store a file is a cluster, and one or more adjacent sectors. The computer numbers the tracks, the sectors, and clusters so it can keep track of where data is stored. The computer also uses a file system to record where each file is physically stored on the hard drive and what file name the user has assigned to it. When the user requests a document, always by file name, the computer uses its file system to retrieve it, because the cluster is the smallest area on a hard drive that a computer can access. Everything stored on a hard drive always takes up at least one cluster of a storage space. In addition, a track, sector, and cluster hard drives are also organized into cylinders, referred to in Figure blah. A cylinder is the collection of a specific track located on each hard disk surface. In other words, it is the area on all of the hard disks inside the hard drive that can be accessed without moving the read-write access mechanism once it's been moved to a proper position. For example, the hard drive shown in Figure blah contains 4 hard disks, which means there are 8 possible recording surfaces using both sides of each hard disk. Consequently, a cylinder for that hard disk would consist of 8 tracks, such as track 13 on all 8 surfaces. Besides all of the read-write heads move together, all of the tracks in a cylinder are accessible at the same time. Not gonna lie, I have no idea what I just read. Traditionally, the magnetic particle on a hard disk has been aligned horizontally, parallel to the hard disk surface, referred to as longitude magnetic recording. To increase capacity and reliability, most new hard drives today use perpendicular magnetic recording, PMR, in which the bits are placed upright, as in Figure blah, to allow them to be closer together than is possible than a horizontal layout. To allow for even higher capacities, hard drives using shingled magnetic recording. Shingled. You shingled, guys? You shingling? Which squeezes more data onto disk by overlapping the data tracks on them, like the shingles on a roof, are available. Shingle, ingle, ingle. While SMR, that was shingled magnetic recording, offers increased capacities. It may reduce performance, particularly when writing data to the disk. Another option becoming available is hard disk filled with helium gas instead of air to reduce friction and vibration. In fact, hard drive manufacturer Western Digital recently announced that it will produce only helium-filled drives by 2017. Did that ever happen? An emerging option is heat-assisted magnetic recording. HAMR. No, not HAMR. HAMR. Which uses lasers to temporarily heat the surface of the hard disk when storing data in order to pack more data onto the surface than is normally possible. It is expected to boost the storage capacity of hard drives significantly. The capacity of magnetic hard drives is currently up to 10 terabytes. Hard drive manufacturer Seagate has announced that it hopes to have... I have a Seagate. I have a Seagate. It's a Barracuda. Has announced that it hopes to have a 20 terabyte HAMR drive on the market by 2020. You know, I don't doubt that. Do you know how many computer parts were just shipping out during 2020? This was before I even became a streamer. I was like, I want to become a streamer now, and almost everything was sold out. It is important to realize that a magnetic hard drive's read-write heads never touch the surface of the hard disk at any time, even during reading and writing. If the read-write heads do touch the surface, for example, if a desktop computer is bumped while the hard drive is spinning, or if a foreign object gets into the surface of the hard disk, a head crash occurs, which can permanently damage the hard drive. Because the read-write heads are located extremely close to the surface of the hard disk, less than 1/2 millionth of an inch above the surface, the presence of a foreign object, the width of a human hair, or even a smoke particle on the surface of a hard disk is like placing a huge boulder on a road, then trying to drive over it with your car. When hard drives containing critical data become damaged, data recovering firms may be able to help out, as discussed in the Inside Industry Box. We're not going to read the industry box. Solid-state drives, SSDs, are hard drives that use flash memory chips instead of magnetic disks. Consequently, SSDs have no moving parts and data is stored as electrical charges on the flash memory media located within the SSD. These characteristics mean that SSDs are not subject to mechanical failures like magnetic hard drives, and are therefore more resistant to shock and vibration. They also consume less power, generate less heat, make no noise, and are faster than magnetic hard drives. Consequently, SSDs are becoming the norm for netbooks, mobile devices, and other very portable devices. They are also being used with notebooks and other portable computers instead of, or in addition to, a magnetic hard drive. While SSDs are faster than HDDs, they are more expensive. SSDs are more often 2.5-inch drives, so they can easily be used instead of a conventional magnetic hard drive in notebooks, netbooks, and other personal computers. Most come in a bracket, so the drive can be used in a 3.5-inch drive bay of a desktop computer. There are also smaller 1-inch SSDs, 1.8-inch. There are also smaller 1.8-inch SSDs available that can be used with a smaller physical size when a smaller physical size is needed, such as for a portable digital media player or smartphone. SSDs are also available as expansion hard drives. SSDs are also available as expansion card drives. SSDs are available in capacities of up to 4 terabytes today. Whew. While small capacity SSDs are affordable, high capacity SSDs are extremely expensive. Consequently, one recent trend is utilizing both an SSD and a magnetic hard drive inside a singular computer. A smaller, less expensive SSD, such as 128 gigabytes, can be used for the operating system and important application to speed up the system, and a large magnetic hard drive can be used for data storage. Then larger magnetic hard drive can be used for data storage and lesser used applications. Computers with both types of drives and Intel's Smart Response technology can go one step further by monitoring the programs and files used most frequently and storing them in the SSD for faster access. Solid state hybrid. Solid state hybrid. Solid state hybrid drivers, SSHDs, also called hybrid drivers, contain both flash memory chips and magnetic hard drives. With SSHD, the data that is most directly associated with performance, such as boot data and frequently accessed data, is stored in the flash memory. The flash memory, usually about 8 gigabytes, allows the hard drive to be faster. It is used to reduce the number of times the hard drive disk needs to be read, as well as temporarily stored data to be written to the hard disk, both of which can extend the battery life of a portable computer and mobile devices. The flash memory can also allow encryption or other security measures to be built into the drive. SSHDs are considered a good balance between price and performance because they are nearly as fast as the solid-state drives, but are just slightly more expensive per gigabyte with magnetic hard disk drives. Internal versus external hard drives. External hard drives are permanently located inside a computer system unit and typically are not removed unless there is a problem with them. Virtually all computers have at least one internal hard drive, an HDD, SSD, or SSHD, that is used to store programs and data. In addition, a variety of external hard drives are available. External hard drives are commonly used for transporting a large amount of data from one computer to another by moving the entire hard drive to another computer for backup purposes and for additional storage. What do you mean what's that last sentence? Today, because of their large capacity, full-size external hard drives are often used by individuals to store their digital photos, digital music, home movies, recorded TV shows, and other multimedia content. To distribute multimedia to the computers and entertainment devices located in the house, located in the home. Special hard drive products, typically called home servers or media servers, are available. These special hard drives are designed to be connected to a home network to serve as a central storage device for all the computers in the home, as well as to back up the data on those computers automatically. There are also DVR expanders. There are also DVR expanders, hard drives designed to add additional storage to an individual digital video recorder. DVR. What? Yes. Full-size external hard drives can be moved from computer to computer when needed. However, portable hard drives are smaller, external hard drives specifically designed for that purpose. Unlike full-size external hard drives, which typically need to be plugged into a power outlet to be used, portable hard drives are typically powered via the computer. They are being used Portable hard drives are typically powered. Unlike full external hard drives, which are typically needed to be plugged into a power outlet to be used, portable hard drives are typically powered via the computer they are being used with instead. The capacity of portable hard drives is typically smaller than full-size external hard drives. Most external desktops and portable hard drives connect to the computer via USB connection. However, some can be connected via a wired or wireless networking connection. However, some can connect via a wired or wireless networking connection instead. The Thunderbolt drives are also available. Love it! Hard drive speed and disk caching. Can't we just have a whole 2 pages where it's computer turn on with button? The hard disk inside a magnetic hard drive typically spins continuously at a rate of between 5,400 to 415,000 revolutions per minute. The total time that it takes for a hard drive to read or write data is called the disk access time and requires the following 3 steps. Move the read-write hands to the cylinder that contains or will contain the desired data, called timeseek. Rotate the hard disk into the proper position so that the read-write heads are located over the power of the cylinder to be used, called the rotational delay. Move the data, such as reading the data from the hard drive disk and transferring it to memory, and transferring the data from memory to storing it on the hard disk, called data movement time. I don't even know. A typically magnetic disk access time is around 8 milliseconds. To minimize disk access time, the magnetic hard drives usually store related data to the same cylinder. This strategy reduces time. This strategy reduces seek time and therefore improves the overall access time, because SSDs do not have to move any parts to store or retrieve data. They don't require seek time or rotational delay, and their access time is much faster than magnetic hard drives, essentially instantaneous at about 0.1 milliseconds on some benchmark tests. To speed up magnetic hard drive performance, disk caching is often used. A cache, pronounced cache, a cache is placed to store something temporarily. For instance, in Chapter 2, you learn that cache memory is very fast memory used by the CPU to store data and instructions that might be needed in order to speed up processing. A disk cache is similar in concept. It stores copies of data or programs that are located on the hard drive and that might be needed soon in memory in order to avoid having to retrieve the data or programs from the hard drive that they are requested. When they are requested. Because the hard disks do not have to be accessed if the requested data is located in the disk cache, and because retrieving data from memory is faster than from a magnetic hard disk, caching can speed up performance. Disk caching also saves wear and tear on the hard drive and in portable computers can extend the battery life. While the memory used for disk caching can be designated portion of RAM, today's hard drives typically use a disk cache. Today's hard drives typically use a disk cache consisting of memory chips located on a circuit board inside the hard drive case. When a magnetic hard drive uses disk caching, as most do today, anytime the hard drive is accessed, the computer copies the requested data as well as extra data located in the neighboring areas of the hard drive, such as all the data located on the cylinder being accessed to the disk cache. When the next data is requested, the computer checks the disk cache first to see if the data is needed. If the data it needs is already there. If it is, the data is retrieved for processing. If not, the computer retrieves the requested data from the hard disk. Most conventional magnetic hard drives today include a RAM-based disk cache, ranging in size from 16 megabytes to 128 megabytes. Hybrid hard drives may be small RAM disk cache. Hybrid hard drives may be a small RAM-based disk cache in addition to their much larger amount of flash memory. Hard drive partitioning and file systems. Partitioning a hard drive enables you to divide the physical capacity of a single hard drive logically into separate areas, called partitions and volumes. Partitions function as an independent hard drive and are sometimes referred to as logical drives because each partition is labeled and treated separately, such as a C drive and a D drive. When viewed in a file management program, such as a file explorer for Windows computers, but they're still physically one hard drive. Yeah, I understood that. One or more partitions are created when a hard drive is first formatted, that is, prepared for data storage. For instance, some new personal computers come with two partitions, a C drive partition ready to use for programs and data, and a D drive partition set up as a recovery partition. A recovery partition contains the data necessary to restore a hard drive back to its state at the time the computer was purchased, and is designated to be used only if the computer malfunctions. In the past, operation systems could only use hard drives up to 512 megabytes, so hard drives larger than that limit had to use multiple partitions. While today's operating systems can use much larger hard drives and therefore do not require the use of multiple partitioning a large magnetic hard drive can make it function more efficiently. This is because operating systems typically use a larger cluster size with a larger hard drive, because even tiny files have to use up one entire cluster of storage space. Disk space is often wasted when a large cluster in size is used. When a hard drive is partitioned, each logical drive can use a smaller cluster size because each logical drive is smaller than the normal hard drive. I'm drinking water. That was good water. Users can create additional partitions on a hard drive if desired, but they should be careful when partitioning a hard drive because deleting a partition erases all data containing on that partition. One reason advanced users may partition a primary hard drive is to be able to use different operating systems on the same hard drive, such as Windows and Linux. These and other operating systems, Chapter 5. With a dual boot system such as this, the user specifies the operating system to be run each time the computer boots. Another reason for partitioning partitioning a hard drive is to create the appearance of having separate hard drives for file management, multiple users, or other purposes. For instance, some users choose to create separate partitions on which to store their data, such as figure blah. Storing data files on a separate physical hard drive or logical partition makes it easier for the user to create data files. It also enables users to back up all data files simply by backing up the entire hard drive or partition containing the data, as well as changing or upgrading the operating system in one partition without disturbing their data partition. The partition size, cluster size, or magnetic hard drives, maximum drive size, and maximum file size that can be used with a hard drive are determined by the file system being used. For instance, most Windows computers typically use NTFS, NFTs, which supports much larger hard drives and files than the older FAT32, and includes better security and error recovery capabilities. Computers with older versions of Windows and some removable storage devices like USB flash drives use FAT2, which has a maximum partition size of 32 gigabytes and a maximum file size of 4 gigabytes. FAT2. FAT32. Hard drive interface standards. What? Hard drives connect or interface. Hard drive connect or interface with a computer using one of several different standards. The most common external hard drive interface standard for desktop computers today is Serial ATA or SATA. The SATA standard is designed to replace the older, slower parallel ATA, known as PATA standard. ATA-PATA, SATA, which is also referred to as Fast ATA and EIDA, Enhanced Integral Drive Electronic. SATA is faster, up to 6 gigabytes per second for SATA 3 devices, and PATA, and uses thinner cables, which means SATA hard drives take up less room inside the system unit. External SSDs may use the SATA interface. Internal SSDs may use the SATA interface, but many plug directly into the PCIe port or use the faster serial attached SCSI SAS interface standard. External hard drives most often connect to the computer via the USB or Thunderbolt port. In addition to SATA and SAS, servers may use Fibre Channel, which is a reliable, flexible, and very fast standard geared for long distance, high bandwidth applications. For network storage, newer standards such as Internet SCSI, ISCSI, that communicates over the internet or another network using the TCP/IP network standard have evolved. Network and networking standards is discussed in Chapter 7. Optical disk drives and drivers. Optical disks and drivers. Data on optical disks, such as CDs and DVDs, is stored and read optically. That is, by using their laser beams. General characteristics of optical disks are discussed next, followed by a look at the various types of optical disks available today. Like a vinyl? Optical disc characteristics. Optical discs are thin, circular discs made out of polycarbonate substrate, essentially a type of very strong plastic that are topped with layers of other materials and coated coatings used to store data and protect the disk. Data can be stored on one or both sides of an optical disc, depending on the disc design. And sometimes discs use multi. Data can be stored on one or both sides of an optical disc, depending on the disc design. And some types of discs use multiple recording layers on each side of the disc to increase capacity. An optical disc contains a single spiral track instead of multiple tracks like magnetic disc, and the track is divided into sectors to keep data organized. As shown in figure bleh. This track sometimes referred to as a groove. I'm holding back on making a groove joke right now. In order to avoid confusion with the term tracks used to refer to songs on an audio CD. Begins at the center of the disc and spirals out of the edge of the disc. So a vinyl. So pretty much like a vinyl. Advantages of an optical disc include large capacity for their size, as discussed shortly, and durability. They are more durable than magnetic media and don't degrade with use like some magnetic media do. However, the discs should be handled carefully and stored in their cases when they are not in use, in order to protect the recorded surfaces of the disc from scratch, fingerprints, and other marks that can interfere with the usability of the disc. Optical discs are the standard today for package software. They are also commonly used for backup purposes, and for storing and/or transporting music, photos, videos, and other large files. Data representing data on an optical disc. Data is written on an optical disc in one of two ways. With read-only optical discs, like movie music and software, CDs and DVDs, the surface of the disc is molded and stamped appropriately to represent the disc. With recordable and rewritable optical discs, that can be written to using an optical drive, such as a DVD drive. As discussed shortly, the reflectivity of the disc is changed using a laser to represent the data. In either case, the disc is read with a laser, and the computer interprets the reflection of the laser off the disc surface as ones and zeros. To accomplish this, with molded or stamped optical discs, tiny depressions when viewed from the top side of the disc, or bumps when viewed from the bottom of the disc, are created on the disc surface. These bumps are called pits. The areas on the disk that are not changed are called lands. Although many people think that each individual pit and land represents a 1 or 0, the data is not completely accurate. It is actually the transition between a pit and a land that represents a 1. When the disk is red, the amount of laser light reflected back from the disk changes when the laser reaches a transition between a pit and a land. When that optical drive detects the transition, it is interpreted as a 1. No transition from a specific period of time indicates a 0. With a disk that is recorded using a DVD drive, the recording laser beam changes the reflectivity of the appropriate area of the disk to represent the data stored there. Dark, non-reflective areas are pits. Reflective areas are lands, as illustrated in figure below. As with molded or stamped disc, the transition between a pit and a land represents a 1, and no transition for a specific distance along with the track represents a 0. Along the track represents a 0. Different types of optical discs use different types of laser beams. Conventional CD discs use infrared lasers. Conventional CD discs use infrared lasers. Conventional DVD discs use red lasers, which allow Conventional CD discs use infrared lasers. Conventional DVD discs use red lasers, which allow data to be stored more compactly on the same disc. And high-definition Blu-ray discs use blue-violet lasers, which can store even more compactly onto a disc. Optical drives. Optical discs in each of the three cavities. Optical discs in each of the three categories, DVDs, CDs, and BDs, can be read-only, recordable, or rewritable. They can use the plus or negative standard, and they can be either single layer or dual layer, DL disc. Optical discs are designed to be read by optical drivers, such as CD, DVD, and BD drivers, and the type of optical drive being used must support the type of optical disc being used. Most optical drivers today support multiple types of optical discs. Some support all possible types. Optical drives are almost always backwards compatible. Yeah! Backwards compatibility! Woo! Meaning they can be used with other types of discs, not only newer ones. So, while a DVD drive would likely support all types of CDs and DVD discs, it cannot be used with BD discs. But most BD drivers today support all types of CDs, DVDs, and BD discs. To use an optical disc, it is inserted into an appropriate optical drive. Purchased optical discs often have a title and other text printed on one side. If so, they're inserted into optical drive with the printed side face up. Two-sided commercial discs typically identify each side of the disc by printing that information on the disc close to the inner circle. The process of recording data onto a recordable or rewritable optical disc is called burning. To burn an optical disc, the optical drive being used must support burning and the type of disc being used. In addition, CD burning or DVD burning software is required. Many burning programs are available commercially, and recent versions of operating systems, including Windows and OS X, include burning capabilities. In addition, most CD and DVD drivers come bundled with burning software. Some optical drivers, such as a LightScribe enabled drives, are even capable of burning label information on the surface of a disc after the contents have been recorded. To do this, you must burn the data to the disk, then you flip the disk over and burn the desired label information on the other side of the disk. Most personal computers today come with an external optical drive. However, notebooks and mobile devices typically do not include the optical drive. An external optical drive that connects via a USB port, see figure blah, can be used with most computers and some tablets. However, an optical drive is temporarily needed. Optical disc shapes, sizes, and capacities. Standard size optical discs are 120 millimeters, approximately 4.7 inch disc, as shown in figure blah. There is also smaller 80 millimeter, approximately 3 inch mini discs that use that smaller form factor. Because the track starts at the center of the disc and the track just stops when it reaches the outer edge of the disc, optical discs theoretically can be made into a variety of shapes and sizes, such as a heart, a triangle, a regular shape, a hockey rink, or a hockey rink. Hockey rink shape, appropriate for business card CDs. Discs that have business card information printed on the top surface or labeled of the disc, and that contain a resume, portfolio, or other digital documents stored on the disc. I did not know what I just read. However, an ongoing patent battle over changing the shape of a normally round storage media, a process an individual claims to have patented, has resulted in some of these custom shapes not being available at the present time. Instead of a custom shape, sometimes a clear background is used around a color design to make it appear that the disc is custom shape. Sometimes a clear background is used around a color design to make it appear that the disc has a custom shape, even though it's a standard disc. As in the rightmost image in figure blah. The practice of using optical discs to replace ordinary objects such as business cards or mailed advertisements is becoming more common. Remember that one time that Nintendo made a Yoshi disc and you can't even play it? Because it's shaped like Yoshi? Suffer, little children. One of the biggest advantages of optical discs is their large capacity. To further increase capacity, many discs are available as a dual-layer DL disc, also called double-layer disc, that store data in 2 layers on a single side of the disc, so the capacity is approximately doubled. For an even larger capacity, triple-layer discs are becoming available. Standard-size CD discs are normally single-layer and usually hold 700 megabytes, though some hold 650 megabytes. Standard-size DVD discs hold 4.7 gigabytes, single-layer disc, or 8.5 gigabytes, dual-layer disc, and standard-size BD disc hold either 25 gigabytes, single-layer disc, or 50 gigabytes, dual-layer disc. The newer BDXL standard uses even more layers to boost capacity to 128 gigabytes. As discussed in the Trend Box, the newest BD discs are Ultra HD Blu-ray discs that hold up to 100 gigabytes and are designed to deliver Ultra HD 4K movies. 4K movies that can also be double-sided, which doubles the capacity. However, unlike hard discs, optical discs are only read on one side at a time and must be turned over to access the second side. Double-sided discs are most often used with movies and other pre-recorded contents. content, such as to store a widescreen version of a movie on one side of a DVD disc and the standard version on the other side. Small optical discs have a smaller storage capacity than their large counterparts. Typically, single-layered, single-sided 3-inch mini CD, DVD, or BD disc hold about 200 megabytes, 1.4 gigabytes, and 2.5 gigabytes, respectively, and the business card size CD and DVD disc hold about 50 megabytes and 325 megabytes, respectively. Read only. CD-ROM compacts, read-only optical disc, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, and BD-ROM disc. CD-ROM compact disc, read-only memory disc, and DVD-ROM digital versatile disc, read-only memory disc are read-only optical discs that come pre-recorded with commercial products, such as software programs, clip art, and other types of graphic collections, music, and movies. For high-definition content, such as a feature film, BD-ROM, Blu-ray disc, read-only memory discs are available. For 4K movies, read-only Ultra HD Blu-ray discs can be used. There are also additional read-only disc formats for specific gaming devices, such as the proprietary disc used with the Wii, Xbox, and PlayStation gaming consoles. The data on a read-only disc cannot be erased, changed, or added because the data on a read-only disc cannot be erased, changed, or added to become the pits that are molded into the surface of the disc when the disc is produced is permanent. Love it. Recordable optical disc, CDR, DVD-R, DVD plus R, and BDR disc. Recordable optical disc, also sometimes called write once disc, can be written to Recordable optical disc, also called write once disc, can be written to, but the disc cannot be erased or reused. Recordable CDs are referred to as CDR discs. Single-layered recordable DVDs are called either DVD-R disc or DVD plus R disc, depending on the standards being used, and dual layers recordable DVDs are called DVD plus R DL or DVD R DL disc. Recordable BD discs are also available in single layer, dual layer, and XL disc. BDR disc, BDR DL disc, and BDR XL disc, respectively. BDR next time on Dragon Ball Z. Everybody, the capacities of recordable optical discs go the same as the read-only format. Instead of having physically molded pits, most recordable optical discs have a recording layer containing organic light-sensitive dye embedded between the disc plastic and reflective layers. One exception to this is the BD-R disc, which has a recording layer consisting of non-organic material. When data is written on a recordable disc, the recording laser... What the heck was that? I felt like a DVD at that moment. Right. Instead of having a physically molded pits... Instead of having physically molded pits or recordable optical disc have a recording layer containing inorganic. When data is rewritten on a recordable disc, the recording layer, instead of a recordable optical drive, burns the dye for CD and DVD discs, or melts and combines the inorganic material for BDR disc, creating non-reflective areas that function as pits. In either case, the marks are permanent. So data written on the disk cannot be erased or rewritten. Recordable CDs are commonly used for backing up files, sending large files to others, and creating custom music CDs. For example, from MP3 files legally downloaded from the internet, or songs located on a music album purchased on CD. DVD-Rs can be used for similar purposes when more storage space is needed, such as for backing up large files and for storing home movies, digital photos, and other media files. BDR disks can be used when an even greater amount of storage is needed, such as very large backups or high-definition multimedia files. Rewritable optical disc, CDR, CDW, CD, DVD, RWs. The RWs have attacked. I'm drinking some water. I tell myself every day it's worth it. Rewritable optical discs can be written to, erased, and overwritten, just like magnetic hard drive disks. The most common type of rewritable optical discs are CD-RW, DVD-RW, DVD plus RW, and BD-RE discs. BD-RE discs are also available as dual layer discs. BD-RE DL disc and XL disc. BD-RE XL. The capabilities of, not gonna lie, BD-RE. If somebody made like a villain and they called them BD-RE, that would be actually like so cool. That would actually legit be like a pretty sweet like villain name. Disc BD-RE XL. The capabilities of rewriting discs are the same as their read-only and recordable counterparts. In addition, but not widely used, rewritable disc format is DVD-RAM. DVD-RAM and DVD-RAM DL discs are supported by DVD-RAM disc, as well as some DVD and BD discs. Drivers. BD drives. To write to erase, or overwrite rewritable optical disc, phase change technology is used. With this technology, rewritable disc is coated with layers of a special metal alloy compound that has two different appearances after it has been heated and then cooled, depending on the heating and cooling process used. With one process, the material is crystallized, and that area of the disc is reflective. With another process, the area cools to a non-reflective, amorphous state. Before any disc is written to a rewritable optical disc, the disc is completely reflective. To write data to the disc, the recording laser heat of the metal alloy in the appropriate location on the spiral track, and then uses the appropriate cooling process to create either the non-reflective area pits and the reflective areas land to erase the disc or the reflective areas land. To erase the disc, the appropriate heating and cooling process is used to change the areas to be erased back to their original reflective state. Rewritable optical discs are used for many of the same purposes as a recordable optical disc. However, they are particularly appropriate for situations in which data written to the optical disc can be erased at a later time, so the disc can be reused. such as for transferring large files from one computer to another or temporarily storing TV shows recorded on your computer that you will later watch using your living room TV and DVD player. Flash memory storage, we finally added there, guys. As previously discussed, flash memory is a chip-based storage medium that represents data using electrons. It is used in a variety of storage systems such as SSD and SSHD, already discussed, and the additional storage system discussed next. Embedded flash drives are Embedded flash memory refers to flash memory chips embedded into products. Because flash memory media are physically very small, they are increasingly being embedded directly into a variety of consumer products, such as smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and even sunglasses and wristwatches, to provide built-in data storage. In fact, flash memory is usually the primary storage for mobile devices, such as tablets and smartphones. While embedded flash memory can take the form of small SSDs or memory cards, it is increasingly being implemented with small standalone embedded flash memory chips, such as the one shown in Figure blah. Flash memory cards and readers. Is that an R4 card? Oh! Guys, maybe we finally learn how to pirate from Nintendo. Flash memory cards and readers. One of the most common types of flash memory media is the flash memory card, a small card containing one or more flash memory chips, a controlling chip, or electrical components, and metal contacts to connect this card to the device or reader being used. Flash memory cards are available in a variety of formats, such as compact flash, CF, secure digital, multimedia card, XD picture card, XQD. XQD. Do you think that's how we came to know XQC? And memory stick. And memory stick. These formats are not interchangeable, so the type of flash memory card used with the device is determined by the type and size of the flash media card that device can accept. Flash memory cards are the most common type of storage media for digital cameras, smartphones, and other portable devices. Flash memory cards can also be used to store data for a personal computer as needed, as well as to transfer data from a portable device, digital camera, or tablet, for instance, to a computer. Consequently, most personal computers and many mobile devices today have a built-in flash memory card reader capable of reading flash memory cards. An external flash memory card reader, such as the one shown in Figure blah, that connect via a USB, can be used when the destination device doesn't have a built-in reader. Flash memory cards are available in capacities up to 512 gigabytes. One of the most widely used types of flash memory media, secure digital SD, is available in different physical sizes, as well as in different capacities. For instance, standard size SD cards are often used in digital cameras and computers. The smaller micro SD cards, about 1/4 the size of a standard SD card, is shown in Figure blah, and typically used with smartphones and other mobile devices. However, as shown in Figure blah, there are adapters that can be used to enable a smaller card to be used in a larger slot of the same type. There are also different versions of SD cards based on capacity. For example, Secure Digital High Capacity, SDHC, and Secure Digital Expanded Capacity, SDXC, hold more data than standard SD cards. Hold on. We're almost there. With general purpose flash memory cards, while general purpose flash memory cards can be used for most applications, there are also flash memory cards designed for specific uses. For instance, professional flash memory cards designed for professional photographers are used and more durable than consumer cards. For professional flash memory cards support 4K video. Some of them support 4K. And gaming flash cards are specifically designed for gaming consoles and devices, such as the Nintendo Wii or PSP, or Sony PSP. There are even Wi-Fi enabled flash memory cards that can be widely uploaded. There are even Wi-Fi enabled flash memory cards that can wirelessly upload digital photos taken with a camera using that card for storage. As discussed in the technology and U-Box in Chapter 7. I'm not reading it. For more secure data storage, there are also encrypted flash memory cards that can be used for smartphones and other devices. For example, Google recently announced Project Volt, an encrypted microSD card shown in Figure Blah. Volt is essentially a computer on a flash memory card with an ARM processor, 4 gigabytes of storage space, and an antenna. Because we gotta add that antenna. That antenna is so important, guys. Amazing. It encrypts all data used on the card so that if the card or device with the card is lost, the data is not compromised. In addition, two devices that contain Volt cards can communicate over a secure connection. USB flash drives, sometimes called USB drives or flash drives, consist of flash memory media integrated into a self-contained unit that connects to a computer or other device via a USB port and is powered via that port. For how long is this data not compromised? For how long is that data not compromised? I have no idea. I think I lost track of what I was reading like 10 pages ago. We're getting close to the end, thankfully, though. It's very portable. USB drives are designed to be very portable. Like, I feel like I'm reading it and I feel like I can remember this, but at the same time, I have no idea what I'm talking about. It feels like I'm learning, but have you memorized all of this? No. I'm taking notes on Sunday. We're doing all of this and then we're going to take notes on Sunday. This is pretty much what's happened. Notes taking. It's pretty much read the 2 chapters of the week, though this week we're doing 4, and then take notes on Sunday or Saturday. There is no in-between. We'll probably still draw, though, because if I don't, then I won't have any thumbnail pictures. Especially since for a lot of these, like, VODs, I gotta, like, for, like, some of these VODs, I gotta, like, I want to draw the thumbnails for them, but I want to draw new thumbnails for the study sessions, and I don't have any. Oh boy! So I gotta create thumbnails for that, which, like, it won't be, like, a big old thumbnail, but, like, come on. I gotta download the VODs before they delete themselves, I lost one VOD, but I was able to save the other one, so there's that. The USB flash drives are designed to be very small and very portable. In order to be appropriate for a wide variety of applications, USB flash drives are available in a host of formats, including those designed to be attached to backpacks or worn on a lanyard around the neck. Those built into pens, necklaces, wristbands, and wrist watches. Those thin enough to fit easily into a wallet, and those made into custom shapes for promotional or novelty purposes. There are also low-profile USB flash drives that are designed to remain in a computer at all times, as well as micro USB flash drives designed to be used with smartphones and other mobile devices that can use micro USB port. See figure Then a USB flash drive is built into a consumer product such as a watch, sunglasses, or a Swiss Army knife. Why would you build a USB into a Swiss Army knife? Let me read this again. And other mobile devices that have a micro USB port. When a USB flash drive is built into a consumer product such as a watch, sunglasses, or a Swiss Army knife, a retractable cord is typically used to connect the device to a computer when needed. I have one that uses... Why would you need a USB in a Swiss Army knife? Why would you need that? Yes, I'm being attacked by a robber. Time to pull out my knife to a computer. The closest knife I have, a computer. Swiss Army USB. Why? Why would you need that? What? Is it like I'm being shown a lanyard, and that makes sense. It makes sense for like a lanyard. It makes sense to have like those you know those ones where it has like the retractable like pulling string. I gotta get one of those one day for like keys and stuff because I think they're fun to like mess around with. But like, why a Swiss Army knife? Yes, sorry, screw, knife, cap, bottle opener, USB. Tactile cord, blah blah blah. Because they are becoming so widely used, additional hardware related to USB flash drives is becoming available, such as a USB duplicator system used by educators to copy assignments or other materials too, and from a large collection of USB flash drives at one time. Yeah. The Swiss Army knife part is taking apart things. The USB is taking apart things. The USB is for copying data off the computer innards. Okay, I think I'm getting it, but like I'm still having a brain fart. It just seems so extra. I'm sorry. To read from or write to a USB flash drive, you just plug it into a USB port. If the USB flash drive is being used with the computer, it is assigned a drive letter by the computer, just like any other type of attached driver, and files can be read from or written to the USB flash drive until it is unplugged from the USB port. USB flash drives today can store up to 1 terabyte. USB flash drive use has become commonplace for individuals, students, and employees to transfer files from one computer to another, as well as to quickly back up important files. From a look at tiny USB flash drive sized PCs, see the technology in U-Box. I'm not reading the technology in U-Box. In addition to providing basic data storage and data portability, USB flash drives can provide additional capabilities. For instance, they can be used to lock a computer and to issue website passwords. Secure USB flash drives are encrypted to protect the data stored on the drive and allow access to only authorized users via a password or a built-in fingerprint reader or a number pad. What is this? It's a knife for nerds. False. They can only hold over a terabyte. Some can do 10. This thing is clearly made back when the Wii was popular. This thing referenced the PSP. This thing referenced the PSP. Do you think they know what that is? Lol. This thing referenced the PSP. This textbook is old. This referenced the Wii. This book is at least like a decade old. And we're reading this. I have to read this. Other types of storage system used with personal and business computers today include network storage, cloud storage, and smart cards. There are also storage systems and technologies designed for large computer systems for archiving data. These storage systems are discussed next. I was trying to sing with the music and I messed up. Remote storage, network and cloud storage systems. I hate cloud systems. This class funny. We don't even interact with the teacher. Of course this class is funny. Our first interaction with the teacher was no interaction. You just read the syllabus. That is the only time I have actually fully read a syllabus since I first entered my classes. And she was like, so, work at your own pace. Cloud system is also called Google. Yeah, they also call it a Stadia. Remote storage refers to using a storage device that is not connected directly to the user's computer. Instead, the device is accessed through a local network or through the internet, using a remote storage device via a local network, referred to as network storage. Works in much the same way as using local storage. The storage device and media that are directly attached to the user's computer. To read data from or write data to a network storage device, such as a hard drive being accessed via network, the user just selects it. I'm not viewing the figure whatever, and then performs a necessary task in the normal fashion. Network storage is common in businesses. It is also used by individuals with home networks or backup purposes, or to share files with other devices in the home. Because of the vast amount of data shared and made available over networks today, network storage has become increasingly important. Two common types of network storage used today are network attached storage (NAS) devices and storage area networks. SANs. Are you reading the textbook verbatim? Yes. That sounds like someone with the correct knowledge trying to sound smarter than they are. Yeah. SANs is in our book, guys. Storage network data. That's what he is. Toby Fox was that smart. SANs. NAS devices are high-performance storage systems that are connected individually to a network or to provide storage from the computers connected to the network. Some, such as the one shown in figure whatever, are designed for small business use. Others are geared for home use instead. A growing trend, in fact, is home NAS device is designed to store multimedia data such as downloaded music, recorded TV shows, and downloaded movies to be distributed over a home entertainment network. NAS devices typically have room for 2 to 8 hard disk drives and connect to the network via a wired or wireless network connection. Networking is explained in detail in Chapter 7, because of course it's in Chapter 7. They're all in Chapter 7, just like how they were all in Chapter 3! A storage area network SANs has also provides storage for a network. It is consistent of a separate a storage area network. SANs also provides storage for a network, but it consists of a separate network of hard drives or other storage devices, which is connected to the main network. The primary difference between a NAS and a SANs is how the storage device interface with the network. That is, whether the storage device act as individual network nodes, just like computers, printers, and other devices on the network, NAS, or whether they are located in a completely separate network of storage devices that is accessible via the main network. SANs can be more appropriate when a larger number of network storage is needed. However, in terms of functionality, the distinction between NAS and SANs is blurred because they both provide storage service to the network. Typically, both NAS and systems are Typically, both NAS and SANs systems are scalable, which means that new devices can be added as more storage is needed, and devices can be added or removed without disrupting the network. Remote storage services accessed via the internet are often referred to as cloud storage or online storage. Cloud storage can be provided either as a standalone service or as part of a cloud computing service. For instance, most cloud applications such as Google Docs and Flickr Photo. What the heck is Flickr? No, I've never heard of Flickr. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Like, the textbook is correct, but is explaining this stuff in the most complex and hard to understand way possible. I already know all these things, but this is 100% not how I would explain it. Okay, yeah, it sounds like some of it's repeating itself. Only a little bit, because, like, you're reading over 20 pages, and then they gotta repeat to you being like, oh yeah, did you remember this thing from earlier that you just read over, like, 10 minutes ago? Which, I've been doing this for an hour. It's gonna be 2 hours. That's how long this chapter is. Mind you, I literally spent only a few minutes sending people downstairs out of, like, the room just so that I could concentrate. And I have only taken a break since to drink water. We are, like, nearing 2 hours. Gee, I wonder why only a few people I wonder why people just go straight to coding and just do it self-taught. The only reason why I'm doing it like this is because I'm one of those people who is confused sometimes, and therefore I need a class like this to keep me on track so that I know where to go so that I can go on my own. Man, do I wish I started a lot sooner than this. Remote storage services via cloud storage, blah, 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 Flickr photo service, sharing, whatever. The Flickr photo sharing service and network social sites like Facebook provide online storage for these services. There are also sites whose primary objective is to allow users to store documents online, such as Box. Hey, I have Box. No, I don't. I really don't have Box. Dropbox. You know, I'm actually surprised Dropbox has existed for longer than I realized, because I had no idea that existed until, like, I was trying to look into Vocaloid, and, like, a producer dropped everything in this thing called Dropbox. Yeah. iCloud, Google Drive, or Microsoft Word. No, not Word. OneDrive. Cloud storage sites allow... The only cloud I actually like is Google Docs. Only because I genuinely like... What is Dropbox? You've never heard of Dropbox? You've never heard of Dropbox? So Dropbox is kind of... It's basically where you can drop... It's basically a file box. It's basically just files, but like for audio files. And it's like where you... It's like It's kind of like It's kind of like Google Docs, where you can like access it if you like want people, but it's like a very specific type of thing. I don't really know much about it myself, but you basically, it's kind of you share files, audio files. Though I personally like Google Docs a lot more, because as long as the person who's dropping the files knows how to organize, it's a lot clearer. It's a lot more organized to, like, get stuff. Like, what is it? Like, I've talked about him before, but I like this producer named Kikuo. He, used to use... He used Dropbox the first couple times when he was, when he first released Kara 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 no Kara. But then he switched to Google Docs for the rest of the files, so that and then he was able to store them so that people can like use the instrumentals in case people want to use the instrumentals. I thought it was a made up app to get around the fact Gmail and Google Docs are TM Google, and his TV shows use them, they have to pay Google. Yeah. Well, it's not that. What is it? I will say if. Wait. I thought it was a made-up app to get around the fact that Gmail and Google Docs are TM Google, and its TV shows use them. They have to pay Google. If. I have no idea what you just said. I'm sorry. I don't know where to fit the if. Unless you mean the if where the TM is. I thought it was a made-up app to get around the fact that Gmail and Google Docs are if Google and is... I thought it was a made-up app to get around the fact the fact Gmail and Google Docs are TM Google, and if TV shows use them, they have to pay Google. Well, it's definitely not that, but yeah. It's kind of weird. I kind of like Google Docs more because for Dropbox, if you do it a certain way, for another producer I liked was Hachi and Nanashi, if you don't put the thing in right, you kind of lock everybody else out of the Dropbox. So like, I like Google more. I like the Google files more because you can just click it and go to your Google, and then it just opens up and plays normally there. But with Dropbox, if the creator locks it, then you have to download the whole thing. But the thing is, you might not want to download the whole thing into your stuff, and then you gotta log in, but then you still gotta download the whole file bundle. So like I said, I like Google more. OneDrive. Cloud storage sites allow users to share uploaded files or folders with others via an email message or a link to the shared content. For security purposes, Google storage sites are usually password protected, and if you specify the individuals that are allowed to view shared files. The ability to store documents... Actually, hold on real quick. I'll be right back. I just got a message. Okay, I'm back now. I'm back, people. I'm back. The transition stopped working. I have like a fade in, fade out, but I guess while I'm streaming, it kind of doesn't work. You know how computers be. Alright, so we left off with cloud storage. The ability to store documents online, or in the cloud, is growing in importance as more and more applications are becoming cloud-based, and as individuals increasingly want access to their files from anywhere with any internet-enabled device, such as a portable computer, tablet, or smartphone. Cloud storage is also increasingly being used for backup purposes. Some sites have an automatic backup option that uploads the files in designated folders on your computer to your cloud account at regular specific intervals, as long as your computer is connected to the internet. Many websites provide cloud storage to individual computer connection. Individuals offer Many websites provide cloud storage to individuals. Individuals offer the service for free. Many individuals offer the service for free. For instance, OneDrive and Google Drive both gave individuals 15 gigabytes of free storage space. Additional storage space can be purchased if needed. Business cloud storage services are also available, such as those offered in conjunction with cloud computing services that allow subscribers to access a flexible amount of both storage and computing power as needed on demand. For instance, Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon Season 3, one of the leaders in enterprise cloud storage, charges a monthly fee per gigabyte for storage used, plus a fee based on the amount of data transferred that month. This service can be used alone or in conjunction with Amazon's cloud computing service, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon Cloud, Amazon EC2. In addition to these public cloud storage services, businesses can also create private clouds that are hosted in the business's data center and are designed to be accessed only by that business's designated users. Wow, that reminds me of that. They teaching you how to make cloud storage? This sounds like an Amazon ad. Sus. Oh, it sounds about right to me. What is it? Reminds me of that time. Did I ever tell this story? I don't think I've ever told it. So one time, I've talked about the Pikmin thing before. Pikmin for Pikmin for 3DS and like Pikmin 4 came out. I had made a small project. It was a small Twitch sponsored textbook. What is it? I had made I had my school account. And this school account I specifically had, we first made when I was in, I'm pretty sure it was longer. I'm pretty sure I've had it since 3rd grade, but I started really using it when I got to middle school and 6th grade. And so it ended up 6th grade and middle school. So what ended up happening was I made this project because I was super into Chugga Conroy's Pikmin 3 Let's Play. And so I created this whole Google slide thing that I was going to present to Nintendo. I'll show it to you guys one day. When we reach 100,000 followers, I will show it to you guys. I will not show it to you any sooner than that. Maybe later. Maybe 500,000. No, 100,000. The 500,000 is gonna be something special. I can tell you that. But we're gonna put all this work to good use when we reach 500,000. I will promise you guys on that. So what ended up happening was I made the Pikmin thing, and it was like. Ventus. Hi, Ventus! I saw your text in the Discord, but I'm reading the textbook. As you can see in the title, we're doing homework. I gotta do it. It was either do this for stream or abandon streaming for another couple of months again. Okay, yeah. We're almost to the end. I just took a small break to tell you guys the story. So, I made a whole Google slide about how I wanted to present Pikmin 3 for DS. And it wasn't like I had no programming knowledge. I didn't know what I was talking about. All I did was like just piece together some like, it was like I was using the cut and paste tool for like the first time. And I would copy and cut and paste like images from Google to my Google Slides. I still think it looks good. It's just that would you show that to a company? It's not like childish. Like childish, where it looks super sloppy. I tried to make it look as professional as possible. I would say it's akin to, back then where they did those, the Comic Sans slides, like, Windows, I'd say it's akin to Windows Movie Maker. Like, slightly above. The only difference is it wasn't animated in Windows Movie Maker. But, to get back on topic, so I made that, right? And so, what I didn't tell you was that I made 2 versions of it. And I say 2 versions with big air quotes, because I made all that with my school email. I never knew how to make an email by that point. I didn't really take risks all that much back then. It was worse then than it is kinda now. So I never knew how to make an email. And so one day, my account stopped working. And I didn't find out, I really pretty much just summarized in my mind a few years, I think about a month or a few years later after that because because by that point, I had started getting homeschooled. I think what they did was they recognized that I was no longer in the system or district anymore, and so they deleted my email. But the problem is that all my most important essays and emails were in there. Stuff that if I wanted to, I could retool and reuse for the future, including the Pikmin thing. So I had to create a new account, which I kind of regret the name of that account, by the way. A little bit, but I still love it. Thankfully, it's vague enough to where I don't have to remember if I don't want to. I ended up having to remake the whole thing, but by that point, I forgot how to use the scissor tool. I think. Either way, I made it. I was like 14, 15 at the time. Please don't judge me. I'll show it to you. Like I said, I'll show it to you guys one day. When we reach 10,000, when we reach 100,000 followers, that's when I'll show it to you guys. By then, my model should be working. But yeah, it was an event. Alright, let's talk about some smart cards, everybody. Smart cards. Smartiest cards. We're almost close to the end, people. Smart cards. A smart card is a credit card-sized piece of plastic that has built-in computer circuitry and components, typically a processor, memory, and storage. Smart cards today. Gonna lurk, anime to watch. Okay! Yeah. Listen. I do the same thing too. Do you know how many times I gotta resist sometimes being like, okay guys, I stopped. What is it, before, cause obviously I use my phone for like tracking, but then I would also be like, I could really watch some Rev Says Des. You have no idea how many times I had to be like, save it for later, until my model stopped working on my phone. Therefore, now if I wanted to, I could totally play Rev Says Des all I want. Don't send this to him. Smart cards today store a relatively small amount of data, typically 64 kilobytes or less, that can be used for payment or identification purposes. For example, a smart card can store a prepaid amount of digital cash, which can be used for purchase at a smart card-enabled vending machine or a paid transit fare. The amount of cash available on the card is reduced each time the card is used. Smart cards are also commonly used worldwide for national and student ID cards. Credit and debit cards adhere to the global EMV standard to increase security and decrease fraudulent use. As discussed in Chapter 9, inside the industry box, we're not reading the box, and access cards for facilities or computer networks. Although these applications have all used conventional magnetic strips technology in the past, the processor integrated into the smart card can perform computations, such as to authenticate the card, encrypt the data on the card to protect its integrity, and secure it against unauthorized access, and can allow data to be added to the card or modified on the card as needed. Smart cards can also store the identifying data needed to articulate airport security and to link patients to the electronic health record, EHRs. Lol, this reads like an ad. Really? Does it feel like an ad? It's telling us about the technology. Future. To use a smart card, see increasingly being used by hospitals. To use a smart card, it must either be inserted into a smart card reader if it is the type of card that requires contact, or placed close to the smart card reader if it is a contactless card, built into or attached to a computer, door lock, ATM machine, vending machine, or other devices. Not gonna lie, earlier, so I don't drink coffee, but I want to get my sister and my mom a thing of coffee. And I kid you not, I go up to the vending machine. Do you know how much? It was like a Starbucks vending machine. Do you know how much those coffees cost? They were $3.50 a piece. I was like, what? $3.50 a piece? $3.50 a piece. I'd rather just pay for food. I love how they advertise the use that have horrible security and you should not use smart cards for. Well, you see, it's different. There are other devices. Once a smart card has been verified by the car. Yes, $5. Yeah. Okay, so I don't drink coffee, so I don't understand the hype. They started drinking coffee only recently though, and it's like I think the funny thing is they always they tend to pour a lot of cream and milk into it. Oh, $3.50 normal for vending machine coffee. Ugh. Once a smart device card has been verified by the card reader, the transactions, such as making a purchase or unlocking the door, can be completed. For the even higher level of security, some smart cards today store biometric data in the card and use the data to authenticate the card's user before authorizing the smart card transaction. Biometrics, encryption, and other security procedures are discussed in more detail in Chapter 9. Chapter 7 and Chapter 9, everybody! Give it up for Chapter 7 and Chapter 9. Oh, coffee has addictive components, that's why. I don't do coffee. I tried it without... Here's the thing. The only reason why I don't try coffee is because when I was young, I tried coffee and I didn't like it. But it was also in tandem with another disaster in which my dad had finished laundry and he had his coffee he had his coffee in the laundry basket. And so I was like, I want to try some, and I go to taste some, and I don't like it. So I set it down, but I set it down in a wrong way, and then the coffee spilled back into the clothes. This wasn't just any coffee spill into the clothes. This was coffee spilling into the white clothes. I had to leave immediately because I didn't want to be in trouble. He didn't say anything, though. I'm pretty sure it's because he had no idea. He probably thought he spilled it. Cool fun fact, coffee is only slightly less addictive than drugs. Yeah, and you know what's more addictive than that? Candy. But the thing is, sweets are legal. There's your fun fact for the day. Sweets are just legal sweets are just legal addictions. Everybody likes sweets. That's why we can have it. The difference is, though, is that, like, I feel like because we have sweets so often, it's, like, not really addictive unless somebody's, like, genuinely, like, addicted. So, like, when it comes to other stuff, because it's, like, a rare, quote-unquote, delicacy, even though it can ruin your life and, like, harm your body in every possible way. I mean, addictive as it can build dependency. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, sweets, too. It's just, like, because, like, sweets are, like, they're legal and they're, like, in candy and you can only have, like, a certain amount. Like, it's not as bad, but if somebody's, like, genuinely, like, out of control with it, it can get, like, really bad. Give it up for Chapter 9 and Chapter 7, everybody. An emerging trend is the use of mobile smart cards. Smart micro SD cards that are designed to add smart card capabilities to any device that contains a micro SD slot. Though it is likely that NFC, near field communications... Hey, that's that thing Nintendo had! That's that round thing Nintendo had! That's the DS has that! Sweets are not as easy to get addicted to. I say it's 50-50. Because it just depends on the person. It's like 50-50 depending on the person. That's what that's it. That's, at least for me personally. Because, like, for me, at least, like, I don't... How should I put it? For me, sweets aren't a problem. I'll crave sweets every now and then, but it's not, like, a problem for me. Little NFC, that thing Nintendo has. Yeah! But yeah, like, for me, sweets aren't a problem. If you take it from me, I'll probably be like, man, I wish I had some sweets right now. But then I'll be fine. But because, like, for someone else, it might be like a, I need sweets right now situation. It can be addictive. So I think it's like 50-50, depending on, like, the person. NFC near field communication will be the eventual technological choice for mobile payments, as well as possibly for mobile access control, as discussed in later chapters. NFC is used in so much more than that. Yeah. But do you see it as often as you used to? What is it? It's like gotten now to the point where people are just like, no, it won't. It just happens, guys. It just happens. Storage systems for large computer systems. Businesses and other organizations, particularly cloud providers, have tremendous storage needs. Security on NFCs is not great. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Because it's like you scan it. Because here's the thing, right? Like, okay, so a good example would be actually Nintendo. So, you know the whole, like, Animal Crossing card series, right? And so people got sick of, like, tracking down the NFC cards. People got sick of tracking them down because, like, it was all gotcha. It was all random. Other than the Hello Kitty cards, it was all gotcha. It was all random. So what happened was that a bunch of dedicated users got together and found all the cards and then just put the data on the website to be scanned off as a QR code. Never underestimate Nintendo fans. We will get our Animal Crossing villagers. So I don't doubt that it's unreliable sometimes, because it just depends on what's needed. Now, that was for Animal Crossing cards and stuff like that. Now imagine if that was with someone's money. Cool fun fact, there's an app to mimic NFC cards using NFC on phone. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, stuff like that, technology like that. So all somebody has to do is, like, make a NFC that, like, reads off your card, and that might actually, and if, like, you have money on that card, somebody could probably take your money. So it's like, this might be a bad idea to put your money on this card. A little bit. What is it? In addition to regular business storage, such as employee files, customer and or data, business documents, and website content, new regulations are continually increasing the types and amounts of data that many businesses have to archive. For instance, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, the HIPAA, requires healthcare providers to archive huge amounts of medical data, and the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2000 Megaman Years Act requires certain accounting records and work papers to be archived for 5 years. In addition, a recent e-discovery federal mandate requires businesses to locate and provide to a court in a timely manner any documents stored electronically, such as email messages, text messages, and text documents, that is needed for evidence in civil litigation involving their companies. All of these requirements mean that business storage needs are growing exponentially. In fact, the amount of digital data produced is expected to double every 2 years through 2020, according to one estimate, and the document must be stored in a manner in which they can be readily retrieved as needed. Storage for large computer systems, such as for mainframes and servers, may utilize much of the same storage hardware, standards, and principles as those used with personal computers. But on a much larger scale, however, instead of finding a single magnetic or SSD hard drive installed within the system unit, you will likely find a large storage system, sometimes called a storage server, a separate piece of hardware containing multiple high-speed hard drives connected to the computer or network. While some NAS devices today are classified as storage servers, large storage systems typically contain drawers of hard drives for significantly larger total capacity. For instance, the storage system shown in Figure Blah can include up to 240 hard drives for a total capacity of 432 terabytes. These types of storage systems, also referred to as enterprise storage systems, typically use fast fiber channels or ISCSI connections and are scalable, so more hard drives can be added as needed up to the maximum system capacity. In addition to being used as standalone storage for larger computer systems, large storage systems may also be used in network-attached storage, NAS, storage area network, SANs, and the RAID, redundant arrays of independent disk systems, which are discussed next. Most large storage systems are based on magnetic hard disk, although some systems, such as the one Blah, can use a combination of magnetic and SSD drives. RAID is cool. RAID? Do you mean like the bug killing RAID? Or RAID Shadow Legends? Can be used to mimic master keycards. Yep. Do you know difference between RFID and NFC? I have no idea what RFID is. This is the literal first time I'm hearing about it. Lol, teaching you how to build data centers. RAID is cool. Yes. RAID, the bug killer. RAID, redundant array of independent disks, is a method of storing data on two or more hard drives that work together. Although RAID can be used to increase performance, it is most often used to protect critical data on a large storage system. Because RAID usually involves record, redundant, duplicate, redumplet. What the heck is redumplet? It sounds like when I was recording last time and it was like Nanagi Yagi. Nanagi Yagi? RFID. RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification, a contactless non-way communication method at varying distance. NFC, near field communication, allows for two-way communication and requires action by the user. RAID is a cool backup system. Okay. Alright. So basically, if someone wanted to just steal your stuff from far away, RFID is it. Dang. What is it? Duplicate Nanagi Yagi Redumplet. Whatever. The copies can be used when necessary to reconstruct large data. This helps to increase the fault tolerance, the ability to recover from an unexpected hardware or software failure, such as a system crash of a storage system. There are several different RAID designs or levels that use different combinations of RAID techniques. For example, RAID 0 uses disk stripping, which spreads files over two or more hard drives. Although stripping improves performance because multiple hard drives can be accessed at one time to store or retrieve data, it does not provide fault tolerance. Another common RAID technique is disk mirroring, in which data is written to two duplicate hard drives simultaneously. The objective of disk mirroring is to increase fault tolerance. If one of the hard drives fail, the system can instantly switch to the other hard drive without any loss of data or service. RAID 1 disks use disk mirroring. Levels beyond RAID 1 use some combination of disk stripping and disk mirroring, with different types of error connection precisions. One disadvantage to RAID in the past is the difficulty traditionally involved with setting up and maintaining the system. New storage systems such as the Drobo storage system, and some of today's NAS eliminate this concern. For instance, Drobo devices connect to an individual computer or a network via a USB cable, similar to an external hard drive, and have a number of empty drive bays into which hard drives can be inserted. For example, the system shown in blah can hold 4 drives for a total of storage capacity up to 24 terabytes. Like many RAID systems, Drobo systems offer continuous data redundancy, but they are much easier to use than conventional RAID. Let's see, not quite. RFIDs can be lower power and hard to steal. Also passive RFID is harder to steal than active RFID. RAID 10 is pretty cool. By the way, computer nerds really love funny abbreviations. Yes. RFID sounds like RAID on steroids. RFID sounds like RFID sounds like just the bug killing RAID. It's like this, RFID. You want that rinky dinky RAID? Nah, you want RFID. This kills people too. You pronounced it wrong. RFID. Okay, I got dang. RFID. 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 Arf. Conventional RAID systems, and no special skills are needed to manage, repair, or upgrade them. For example, indicator lights tell you the capacity status of each drive, and drives just slide in and out of Drobo devices to make it easy to replace a bad hard drive, to increase capacity, even while the devices are being used. When a device is replaced, the system automatically copies data as needed to the new hard drive to store the system back to its configuration before the hard drive failed or was removed. The new hard drives don't even have to match the other. They can be different types, speeds, capacities, and brands. In addition, Drobo has additional features called thin provisioning and automatic tiering that allows applications more control over the storage system than usual. This flexibility and ease of use makes the Drobo system particularly appropriate for individuals and small businesses that need the security of data, redundancy, but have no IT personnel to assign to a RAID system. RFID is pronounced by saying the letters. It is an abbreviation, not a word. RFID. RFID, yeah. Funny abbreviations. Sorry, I'm a RFID. Archival storage systems. Data archiving is the process of identifying and moving data that is no longer actively being used from regular storage systems to a separate separate long-term archival storage system. Data archiving is most important because while there is a great deal of data that needs to be retained for future references or regulatory compliance, this data does not need to be accessed very frequently. Moving this data out of the regular storage systems improves performance of the regular systems while still meeting the data storage needs. It also reduces backup time because less regular data needs to be backed up. As a bonus, regular archival systems tend to be less expensive than regular storage systems. There are a number of options for data archival systems depending on the amount of data that will be archived. Large hard drives, such as the Helium hard drive, shown in that holds 10 terabytes, is one option. Magnetic tape, which consists of plastic tape coated with a magnetizable substance that represents the bits and bytes of digital data similar to a magnetic hard disk, is another option. Magnetic tape uses sequential access, so it is no longer used for everyday storage applications, but it is still used today for business data archiving, as well as in some backup systems. One advantage of magnetic tape is its low cost per terabyte. Most computers today are in the form of cartridge tapes, such as the ones shown in blah. Computer tapes are read by tape drives, which can be either an internal or an external piece of hardware. Tape drives contain one or more read-write heads over which the tape passes to allow the tape drive to read or write data. Cartridge tapes are available in a variety of sizes and formats. Tape size and formats generally are not interchangeable. Tape cartridge capacity varies widely, up to 5 terabytes per cartridge. When an even larger capacity is required, tape libraries, devices that contain multiple tape drives, can be used to boost storage capacity up to 10 PB. it is really low. Say that to your teacher, they will lose it. So how much of this are you understanding? Huh? Your book is way outdated. Like, quite a bit more than 10 years. Tape drives are like 15 years ago. Yeah. If I'm not getting to you immediately, it's just because I'm trying to, like, read it. I'm trying to, like, read it so that we're not talking the entire time and I'm not stuck on the literal final page. 10 PD. I know. Yep. Remember, the Wii is over 15 years old. The Wii is over 10 years old, guys. The Wii is over 10 years old. I'm pretty sure this book is at least 10 years. It's at least over 10 years old. You don't mention only the Nintendo Wii, and you don't think I don't notice anything. It's the Wii. The Wii's pretty old. Even though it shouldn't really be, but it's still really old. And does this book reference floppy disk? Yeah. They reference floppy disk, but, like, I think they only mentioned it briefly. Another emerging option for data archiving is the use of the even higher capacity Blu-ray disc in development. For example, Sony and Panasonic I haven't heard that name in years. Sony and Panasonic have announced that they're developing a 300 gigabyte DB archival disc that is expected to be on the market soon. And they expect the capacity of BDs to grow to 1 terabyte in the future. For archiving a great deal of data, optical storage systems that can access data stored on a large number of high-quality optical discs can be used. For example, Facebook has developed an optical jukebox archival system that can hold 10,000 100 gigabyte Blu-ray disc per cabinet. The system is designed to archive data for up to 50 years. The optical discs used for archiving are often recordable discs. As cloud storage options continue to grow, some businesses are turning to cloud storage providers for their data archival needs. While the business using the cloud storage service doesn't have any hardware on site, the cloud provider would use one of the archival options, such as hard drives, optical disc, or tape, to archive the data at its location. Evaluating your storage alternatives. Nice, because some of the stuff mentioned is older than floppy disks. Older than floppies. 78% of companies use cloud storage now. Yep. This is at least. I might look into what year this book came out, but like I'm reading this off of a PDF because this teacher was actually the best thing to just upload everything as a PDF. Evaluating your storage alternatives. Storage alternatives are often compared by weighing a number of product characteristics and cost factors. Some of these products' characteristics include speed, compatibility, storage compatibility, convenience, and the portability of the media. Keep in mind that each storage alternative normally involves trade-offs. For instance, most systems with removable media are slower than those with fixed media, and external drives are typically slower than internal ones. Although cost is a factor when comparing similar devices, it is often not the most compelling reason to choose a particular technology. For instance, although USB flash drives are relatively expensive per gigabyte compared to an optical disc and external hard drives, many users find them essential for transferring files between work and home, or for taking presentations or other files with them as they travel. For discs for drives that use a USB interface, the type of USB port is also significant. For example, storage devices that connect via a USB 3 or USB 3.1 port operate significantly faster than devices plugged into a USB 1 or USB 2 port.
With so many different storage alternatives available, it is a good idea to research which device and media is more appropriate to use with your personal devices. In general, most users need a hard drive for restoring programs and data. Some type of recordable or rewritable optical drive for installing programs, backing up files, and sharing files with others, and a flash memory card reader for transferring photos, music, and other contents between portable devices and the computer. Users who plan to use flash memory cards with their other devices, such as a digital camera or smartphone, will want to select and use the flash memory media that are compatible with those devices, as well as obtain any necessary adapters. In addition, virtually all computer users will need at least one convenient USB port to be used to connect external hard drives, USB flash drives, printers, mice, and other USB-based hardware, as well as USB devices that contain storage media, such as digital cameras and smartphones. Several convenient USB ports are also better, though a USB hub can be used to connect multiple devices to a single USB port, if needed. Mobile device users have fewer options for storage alternatives, so users should consider the available options when selecting a mobile device to ensure it can perform the functions the user deems necessary, such as the ability to back up data, contacts in the cloud or onto a medium that user can access with another device. The ability to transfer photos and other data to a computer or printer, and the ability to connect to any desired storage device or other hardware. In addition, mobile device users will want to ensure that the device has the appropriate wireless connectivity, such as Wi-Fi, to connect to the desired wireless storage devices and other resources. That is the end of Chapter 3. Whew, that was the end of Chapter 3. Insert joke about Laserdisc versus optical disc here. I get that reference. We just talked about that. Now we finally got that done. Now, tomorrow, I have to do the test for it. But tomorrow, we will also be doing Chapter 4. If I wanted to, we could. If this was earlier in the day, we probably would have done chapters 3 and 4. But I'm also not stupid. Because it's like gonna be 10 o'clock soon. Whoa, boy. Oh boy. If anything, thank you for all coming here. Have fun with Tess. How much of that did you understand and remember? I would say, surprisingly, I feel like I understood at least 50%. I understood at least... It's only 1 a.m. here. Go to sleep, bro. Test is for tomorrow. Test is for when I wake up tomorrow. I won't even remember half the stuff if I took the test tonight. Actually, I think I would actually remember at least most of it. But if I took the test tonight, but I'm not gonna do that because, that would take way too long. I will do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow we will be doing Chapter 4, and then after that, probably Chapters 5 and 6, because for some reason the quiz for Chapter 5 and 6 is combined. So, we'll see about that. We'll see how long and short those are. Studying before bed increases retention. Yeah. Yep. It's probably because you're at the end of the day and you don't have to worry about anything. It's almost like I don't have to go to work tomorrow or school. Oh, but I still have to go to work. Yeah, definitely have to go to work for that one. But I don't have to go to school tomorrow. So I'm happy for that. If anything, I'm happy for at least that. We'll probably, like I said, you know what? If I do things correctly, we might have to, I have to do it later in the day because I gotta go somewhere.
on Friday. So we might have to wait. It depends. If chapter 5 and 6 are short, and that's why the quizzes are combined, which I probably highly doubt they are, we might be able to finish those 2 in a day, and then we'll probably just have a drawing stream for the weekend, because I do have to finish up art. I do have to finish up some art. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I want to actually stay up an extra hour and just talk to you guys. Streams test. I actually almost wanted to stream the test, but then I would be distracted because while the test is not I'm not timed on the test, but I don't know about you, but I think my teacher would be really concerned if it's why do you have 3 hours why do you have 3 hours on your test? Because these aren't hard questions, but seems pretty weird that you're spending 3 hours on a test. Unless you didn't read, which I did read, teacher. And buckle up, boys, for chapter 4, because chapter 4 is over 30 pages. Streams, tests, and teachers join Twitch chat. The teacher's not even invested in the class. If they were invested in this class, that'd be one thing. But they didn't even talk. She didn't even talk to us. She just gave us the Oh man, you know what? Why not? You know what? Why not? We're gonna hop in. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow because I am kind of tired and my voice hurts. The roof of my mouth is giving out. I know good and well that if I keep talking, I'm going to suffer. So we're gonna hop into Akai Risu's stream. The kid on my floor is a Twitch streamer. The professor joined his chat and fed him answers when he streamed test. That's way too funny to be how am I passing? Even if I stream the test, here's the thing, even if I stream the test, I wouldn't stream the screen, because that would, if you stream your test with your name on there, I'm not saying you need to get doxxed, I'm just saying, I spent over 5 hours on 3 question quiz because I started watching TV in the middle. Yeah, that sounds about right. I try to get my stuff done. I try to be diligent. I try to be diligent because I know good and well that if I don't, that's why we're doing this stream reading and stuff. Maybe tomorrow while I'm taking my test, maybe not while I'm taking my test, but when I'm between testing and stuff, I'm going to upload the VODs from last week. Oh no, the kid streamed with screen on so Professor could see it was him and he was doing tests. There are people in this world. That's it, that's the whole quote. The professor just did not care and was chill. Sounds about right. It's Abby. There are just some people in this world. Some teachers are cool, and others, well, we've talked about the others last stream. I look back at that stream and I'm like, should I upload the VOD for that? And then I realized, Wait a minute. Who's that? Gooey Gooey Crew? Gooey Gooey. I think I've seen this series before. Ventus sent the series into the chat. It feels like I've seen this series before. And I thought, and I'm pretty sure I have, but I've only seen the manga, and it looks dead on to the manga style. What is it? It is for the series Gooey Gooey Crew?
Gui Gui Kuro. What's Gui Gui Kuro? Gui Gui. Gui Gui Curry? Like, gave him answers in chat and was like, good luck next time. I'm not giving you your answers, though. Study, kids. Alright. Well, that was definitely a fun read. Well, fun, quote, in big air quotes. And, that was just fun overall. Alright, so tomorrow we shall be reading Chapter 4. And in the meantime, I'm gonna put the raid messages in chat, because I finally remembered how to save them this time. So, raid messages for chat. Lol. Here we go. There's that. And here's this. There you go. No, I have not set up the bot for doing it. You know why? Not only that, it doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work, it's just the fact that it airs out. It aired out for me. Who is this? Mr. I Love BBQ Chicken. Wait, you follow? Thank you. Thank you. I have everything on my audio. I have it on my audio for a reason. I gotta put this pop out. I gotta put this somewhere. Eventually I'm gonna move the pop-outs, I'm gonna move some stuff around. Which bot? The Streamlab bot. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just the fact that like when I tried installing it last time, it just did not work. I'm pretty sure if I try again now with better knowledge, I can, but like I said, I won't be doing it yet because it takes up too much stuff on the computer. Too much resources, unfortunately. But I shall see thee guys next time. Messianella out. Alright. Oh, the one hosted on your computer and the one that fits your least. Yeah. Alright, use a cloud one. Cloud one it better. True. Alright. I shall see everybody tomorrow. Bye! Bye, everybody.